The discovery that changed everything. Sarah Bennett stood at the observation deck of the stellar research vessel Horizon, her eyes fixed on the swirling nebula that painted the void before her. 20 years of human integration into the Galactic Alliance had taught her patience, especially as the only human xenoarchaeologist among a crew of 63 aliens who still viewed her species as primitive newcomers. The ship's quantum engines hummed beneath her feet as Commander Zyra X, a towering Centaurian with iridescent scales, approached. "Still searching for ghosts, human Bennett?" The universal translator couldn't quite mask the condescension in their tone. "Not ghosts," Sarah replied, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. "Evidence. The energy signatures we detected on Kepler 186f match exactly with the artifacts we found on Mars. The ones your scientists dismissed as anomalous natural formations." Zyra X's secondary breathing vents fluttered, their species equivalent of a dismissive snort. "The Council has already established that humans achieved space flight barely a century ago. Any suggestion otherwise is science fiction?" Sarah turned, meeting all four of Zyra X's eyes. "Like the quantum drive your people thought impossible until humans helped develop it? Or the neural interface technology we primitives improved upon within 5 years of first contact?" Their conversation was interrupted by the ship-wide alert system. Chief Science Officer Raxthor's crystalline voice resonated through the chamber. "All senior research staff to the bridge. We've detected something unprecedented." Sarah followed Zyra X through the ship's bioluminescent corridors, ignoring the usual mix of curious and disdainful looks from the crew. On the bridge, a massive holographic display showed their destination, a seemingly desolate planet orbiting a dying star. "The energy readings are off the charts," Raxthor explained, their crystalline form refracting the bridge's lights. "They appear to be emanating from what we initially thought was a natural formation, but the patterns." They paused, mandibles clicking in what Sarah recognized as discomfort. "The patterns what?" Sarah pressed, already suspecting the answer. "They follow human mathematical sequences. Fibonacci spirals, prime number intervals, and..." Raxthor's voice dropped to a whisper, "DNA coding patterns matching ancient human genomic structures." The bridge erupted in murmurs and clicks of disbelief. Captain Vexna, a member of the ancient luminary species, raised all 6 appendages for silence. Their bioluminescent skin pulsed with authority. "Dr. Bennett, given your unique perspective on these matters, what's your assessment?" Sarah stepped forward, studying the readings. Her heart raced as patterns emerged that confirmed theories she'd been ridiculed for suggesting. "Captain, I believe we're looking at evidence of human civilization dating back at least 1,000,000 years. The energy signature suggests a level of technology far beyond even current Galactic Alliance capabilities." "Impossible," Zyra X declared. "Your species was drawing on cave walls when we first found you." "Maybe," Sarah smiled, her eyes fixed on the mysterious signal, "or maybe you just found us after we'd already fallen once before." She turned to Captain Vexna. "Request permission to lead the ground team." The captain's skin flickered through patterns of concern and curiosity before settling on acceptance. "Granted." "But Dr. Bennett." Their bioluminescence dimmed to a serious glow, "if you're wrong about this." "I'm not," Sarah interrupted, already heading for the equipment bay. "For once, I think we're about to discover that human intuition was right all along. And maybe," she added under her breath, "it's time the galaxy learned why they should have taken us seriously from the start." Echoes of the past. The descent to the planet's surface was anything but smooth. Sarah gripped her harness as the shuttle fought against storms that seemed to materialize from nowhere. Around her, the alien research team checked their equipment with methodical precision, trying to mask their unease. "These weather patterns are artificial," announced Krell, their atmospheric specialist, compound eyes rapidly processing data. They follow predictable mathematical sequences, human sequences. A defense system? Zyra X suggested, their scales shifting to a darker hue. Sarah shook her head, studying the patterns on her display. No. More like a test. Look at the intervals, it's not trying to stop us. It's measuring our responses. The shuttle broke through the cloud layer, revealing a landscape that defied their expectations. What sensors had indicated as natural rock formations were actually massive geometric structures, partially buried under millions of years of sediment. Their surfaces gleamed with a dull, metallic shine where wind had stripped away the dirt. By the first light, Raxthor whispered, their crystalline form vibrating with excitement. The scale of this, it's beyond anything in Alliance records. Sarah was already moving as soon as they landed, her specialized scanner sweeping the area. The device, a hybrid of human intuition and alien technology, had been dismissed as unreliable by many of her colleagues. Now it was singing with data. The structures are powered, she announced, her voice tight with controlled excitement. Low level, but active. And there's something else. She moved toward what appeared to be a solid wall, her scanner's readings growing stronger. The material composition, it's responding to human biosignatures. As if in response to her words, lines of light began to trace across the structure's surface, forming patterns that pulsed in sync with her heartbeat. The alien team fell back in shock as a doorway simply materialized in what had been solid metal. Impossible, Zyra X breathed. The energy requirements alone. You know, Sarah replied, unable to keep the satisfaction from her voice, for an advanced civilization, you all seem to use that word an awful lot. Awakening. The facility's interior defied conventional physics. Corridors shifted and realigned as they walked, responding to their presence, or more specifically, to Sarah's. The alien team followed her with a mixture of scientific curiosity and barely concealed apprehension. These symbols, Krell noted, studying the glowing patterns that lined the walls. They're evolving, adapting into modern human language. Sarah nodded, her throat tight with emotion. It's learning. Analyzing our current linguistic patterns and updating its interfaces. She paused, running her hand along a section of wall. This isn't just a facility. It's alive, in its own way. The passage opened into a vast chamber that seemed to stretch endlessly in all directions. At its center, suspended in a field of shifting energy, hung a device that defied description. It was both massive and delicate, its components moving in a dance that suggested both machine precision and organic fluidity. The energy readings, Raxthor reported, their voice trembling. They're rewriting our understanding of physics. The power source, it's drawing energy from the quantum fabric of space itself, Sarah finished, approaching the device. Something humanity discovered long ago, and then lost. She turned to face her colleagues. We weren't always primitive. We were, this. And then something happened. Something that made us start over. The device pulsed, responding to her proximity. Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing star maps, mathematical formulas, and engineering schematics that made even the most advanced Alliance technology look primitive by comparison. This changes everything, Zyra X said quietly, their earlier skepticism replaced by awe. The Council, the entire Alliance, no one is ready for this. Maybe that's exactly why we needed to find it, Sarah replied, reaching toward the device's interface. Because sometimes the universe doesn't wait for you to be ready. Sometimes it just demands that you evolve. The chamber hummed with growing power as the device recognized her genetic signature. A voice spoke, not in sound but directly into their minds, in a language that bridged the gap between ancient human civilization and their present understanding. Protocol restoration initiated. Welcome home, children of Earth. It's time to remember who you were, and who you are meant to become. Legacy of the Stars. The ancient device poured forth knowledge like a digital flood, filling the chamber with streaming data and pulsing holograms. Sarah stood transfixed as humanity's true history unfolded before her. The alien research team watched in stunned silence as their understanding of galactic civilization was completely rewritten. 1 million years ago, the device's consciousness explained, humanity reached its first golden age. We seeded 1,000 worlds, touched the edges of reality itself, and learned to harness the fundamental forces of the universe. Images showed vast fleets of starships unlike anything the Alliance had ever conceived, cities that spanned continents, and technologies that bordered on the miraculous. Sarah's eyes filled with tears as she watched her ancestors achieve things that modern humans had only dreamed of. But why? She asked, her voice thick with emotion. Why did we fall? Why did we forget? The chamber darkened as the device projected new images, terrible ones. A threat from beyond the galaxy, something that devoured light and consciousness itself. The ancient humans had faced it, fought it, and ultimately found only one way to survive. The Void Hunters, the device explained. They were drawn to advanced civilizations, feeding on their technology, their knowledge, their very essence. Our ancestors realized that the only way to protect humanity was to hide it, to deliberately regress our species back to a primitive state. Zyra X stepped forward, their scales shifting in patterns of disbelief. You're saying humans chose to forget? To abandon all of this? They chose to survive, Sarah whispered, understanding dawning. They hid facilities like this one across the galaxy, waiting for humanity to evolve again naturally. Waiting for the right moment. The Void Hunters still exist, the device confirmed. They sleep in the spaces between galaxies. But humanity has evolved differently this time, shaped by hardship and determination rather than easy advancement. You are ready now, ready to reclaim your legacy and face the ancient enemy. Awakening powers. The next few hours were a blur of revelation and preparation. The device began interfacing with their ship's systems, upgrading Alliance technology with fragments of humanity's ancient knowledge. But more importantly, it began awakening something within Sarah herself. Your ancestors encoded the knowledge not just in machines, the device explained as Sarah felt new awareness flooding her consciousness. They encoded it in human DNA itself. Every human carries within them the potential to access this power, waiting for the right catalyst. The alien team watched in amazement as Sarah demonstrated abilities that seemed to defy physics itself. She could now perceive quantum probabilities, manipulate energy fields with a thought, and access vast stores of ancient knowledge. This is why humans adapted to Alliance technology so quickly, Raxthor realized, their crystalline form vibrating with excitement. You weren't learning it for the first time, you were remembering. The Council must be informed immediately, Zyra X declared, but Sarah raised her hand. No, she said firmly. First, we need to understand what we're dealing with. The device wouldn't have activated now without reason. She turned to the consciousness inhabiting the facility. The Void Hunters, they're awakening, aren't they? The chamber dimmed again as new data flowed forth. Long-range sensors, far more powerful than anything the Alliance possessed, showed disturbing movements in the spaces between galaxies. Dark shapes stirring from ancient slumber, drawn by the increasing technological advancement of galactic civilization. We don't have much time, Sarah realized. Humanity needs to remember who we are, what we can do. And the Alliance. She looked at her alien colleagues, needs to be prepared for what's coming. Zyra X's scales had paled to a ghostly hue. How many humans are there in Alliance space now? Approximately 10 million, Sarah answered, scattered across various worlds and stations. She smiled, feeling the power of her ancestors flowing through her veins. 10 million potential awakened humans, each carrying within them the legacy of a civilization that once faced down the darkness itself. The device pulsed with approval. Protocol restoration is proceeding as designed. Phase 2 initiating, mass awakening. The chamber filled with new light as the facility began broadcasting a signal that would reach every human in Alliance space, awakening the dormant powers within their genes. I hope the Alliance is ready for this, Raxthor muttered. Everything is about to change. Sarah's eyes glowed with ancient power as she accessed more of her inherited knowledge. Ready or not, change is coming. The question is, will the Alliance stand with humanity against what's coming, or will ancient prejudices blind them to the real threat? Rising storm. The Alliance Council chamber erupted in chaos as the holographic evidence played before them. Representatives from 100 species argued and debated as they watched humans across Alliance space awakening to their ancient powers. Sarah stood calmly in the center of the storm, her newly awakened abilities letting her sense the fear, wonder, and anticipation swirling around her. "This is unprecedented," bellowed the Craxton ambassador, his crystalline form flashing with agitation. "Millions of humans suddenly wielding powers beyond our comprehension? The security implications alone are irrelevant compared to what's coming," Sarah interrupted, her voice carrying an authority that silenced the chamber. She gestured, and the holographic display shifted to show the approaching Void Hunters. "While we debate, they draw closer. Our ancestors faced them once before. Now they return, and we must all stand together or fall separately." Captain Vexna stepped forward, their bioluminescence pulsing with determination. "I have witnessed these humans firsthand. Their awakening isn't about power or dominance, it's about protection. They're becoming what they once were, what they need to be, to save us all." The ancient device's consciousness, now linked to Alliance systems, projected itself into the chamber. The Void Hunters feed on technological advancement and consciousness itself. The Alliance's growing civilization has drawn their attention. Humanity's chosen path, deliberate regression followed by natural re-evolution, has created unique defenses against their influence. "What are you suggesting?" asked the Centaurian Prime, all four eyes fixed on Sarah. "An alliance," she replied. "A real one this time. Not between advanced races and primitive newcomers, but between equals facing a common threat. Humanity remembers its past now, but we've learned from our present too. We don't want to rule the galaxy, we want to protect it." A new dawn. The battle raged across the stars as the Void Hunters made their first incursion into Alliance space. Sarah stood on the bridge of the horizon, now transformed by ancient human technology into something far more powerful. Around her, humans and aliens worked together, combining the best of both their technologies and abilities. "They're targeting the quantum communication networks," Zyra-X reported, their scales shifting with tactical patterns. "Trying to isolate our systems." Sarah nodded, reaching out with her awakened abilities. Across Alliance space, other awakened humans did the same, creating a network of consciousness that the Void Hunters couldn't disrupt. Through this network, she could feel humanity rising to its true potential, not with the easy advancement of their ancestors, but with the wisdom earned through hardship and determination. "All ships, execute protocol restoration final phase," she commanded. The fleet moved as one, human and alien crews working in perfect synchronization. The ancient device had given them the weapons and knowledge to fight, but it was the unity of their combined civilizations that would give them victory. The Void Hunters, massive beings of dark energy and corrupted matter, found themselves facing something they had never encountered before, a civilization that had deliberately hidden from them, evolved in secret, and returned stronger than ever. The humans' awakened abilities created shields of pure consciousness, while Alliance technology, enhanced by ancient knowledge, struck at the creatures' vulnerabilities. In the end, as the last Void Hunter retreated into the darkness between galaxies, Sarah stood before the Alliance Council once more. But this time, there was no fear or suspicion in the chamber, only respect and hope for the future. "Our ancestors made a choice to protect humanity by hiding our true nature," she declared. Now we make a different choice, to stand with our allies, to share our knowledge and abilities, and to face whatever challenges await us together. The ancient device's consciousness spoke one final time, protocol restoration complete. The children of Earth have not only reclaimed their legacy but transcended it. The galaxy enters a new age, not of human dominance, but of true partnership between all species. As Sarah looked out at the assembled representatives of the Alliance, she smiled. Humanity had finally found its place in the galaxy, not as conquerors or primitives, but as protectors, teachers, and friends. The stars beckoned, and this time, all of civilization would advance together, stronger for their differences and united in their determination to forge a better future for all.